few pieces and that kind of thing, just to sort of help me out. So yeah, today we're going to be covering 3 different ways to create raised base plates for you to build on, and change the way they look so they match whatever your imagination is telling you. And also we're going to show you how to make trees look like trees, because people like to make nature for some reason symmetrical when nature is like never symmetrical in real life. So we're going to show you how to get a real nice look to your trees when you build them in just a second here. Alright, but first in our lesson we're going to be covering base plates. Okay? And the reason we're covering this is because naturally when you build, you want to sort of make a landscape or a ground that reflects, whatever your model is based around. Like, say for instance, you want your model to be under the sea. You might want to have a sand landscape or, base plate. Say you want it to be on a hilly, grassy area. You might want to use green or something like that. So whatever, based on what kind of landscape you want to do, you're going to want to probably change the colors up. We're going to go ahead and switch over to our Brickcraft view so we can see what I'm talking about. So this is how it usually starts off right here. Okay? So I want to make a gray or a different color base plate than this right here, right? But at the same time, I've only got this blue base plate. This is what I can use or whatever. The problem is that I can't just I can lay plates all over this thing and cover it all up and make it whatever color I want. I can make it black, I can make it gray, I can make it white, red, whatever I want, as long as I have enough of those pieces. The problem is that when we start putting plates on plates in order to change the color of a base plate, this can actually start to damage the plate. And especially when it's kids, when they do this, they like to pull it off for some reason long ways, and that can easily damage the base plate, or it can break your actual piece. We've had that happen several times because they don't know that you always have to pull these off at the shortest length, as long as they are about 4 studs or lower. But that's something totally different. So they try to take all these off, and that can be challenging. That can mess up the plate, that can mess up the piece. And then also, this is very, very tedious. And I've seen some people use 1 stud wide plates all the way across a base plate to get it all covered up in order to change the color. We had one group last week, and you can look at our team tournament competition video to see it, but they put 1x2 orange plates all the way across a base plate so they could change the plate to orange. And that took us quite a bit to get all those pieces off of there. So you don't really want to do this. You want to really avoid doing this at all costs. And you can sort of see that we already have some damage there. This is one of the base plates they've used. One of the ones they've actually been doing this on. And you can see right here, this is hard to get off of here. So, wow. Yep, this is hard. So we're going to go ahead. Now don't do this right here. Okay, we're going to show you what to do instead. And we're going to first start off with the most simple way. Okay, using 4 stud and wider plates. Just putting 2 stud wide plates on the bottom and joining them together. So first off, we want to decide what we are going to be making. Alright, so I've pulled out a few different plates right here. And I want to build a sand area with a little bit of grass, okay? So I want to build something like this, like almost like they're on the beach. I'm going to go ahead and turn these over. And I'm going to first take care of the edges using 2 stud wide plates. Now many of you may say, well, why would you use 2 stud wide plates? Well, 1 stud wide plates may not give you enough grip. And I mean, like, when you put these together, they might fall apart pretty easily. Or they can just, you have to use a lot more of them. So we're just going to use 2 stud wide plates. We're going to join it together at the end. Also paying attention to give it some support around the edges, okay? We're going to go to each of these edges. Put this on here. And I'm not going to try to do this perfectly right now. I'm just going to go ahead and just go around it. I need to get this corner too. And there's a much neater way you can do this besides just taking all this off over and over and over, besides just using random pieces. But I'm just doing this for the sake of the lesson right now. Okay? We've got these all around the edge, and they're all joined together into one plate, right? Next, identify seam connections. We have one right here, and one right here. So we're going to be using at least a 2x4, so each side gets at least 2 studs. And each of these pieces need to be gripped by at least 2 studs. If they're not gripped by 2 studs, then more than likely they can come off pretty easy. So now we've got all of those different intersection points connected. They're also called seams, so we're joining the seams, locking the seams together. Sorry about that. And then next, when we turn this over, we've got 1 plate here, okay? And this will be very easy to take apart if we want to disassemble it later on. And it's pretty sturdy. Next, you're going to test it for any bowing points. And it's very, very important to test for bowing, because you do not want to go ahead and start building on top of this and then building it up to, like, you know, this high, and then you start to mess around with it, and you got to go back down here to fix it. So we're just going to go along the seams first and press in. You see that right there? That's a bowing point. We're going to go to that point and put a piece in there, just like that, okay? And then come back down, and then now it's not bowing anymore. So go along the seams and test for bowing. Right there is a bowing point. So put one right there. And I see that the same distance is right here too, so I'll go ahead and put that right there. And then now we're done testing all of our seams for bowing. After that, we're going to test the middles of these for support and bowing. Big bow right there. These are not too bad. So we'll go in this area, and I'll put down 2 plates. Okay? Now we've taken care of all of our bowing. We have just created a pretty sturdy plate for us to build off of. So that's the first technique. Get together 4 stud and wider plates. Don't use 1 stud wide. Don't use 2 stud wide, because they're going to be too. Unless you're doing details, don't use those, because it's going to be a mess. You'll get the same effect as you deal with this base plate, plates on plates. Okay? And as long as you keep on, even if you have something like this, you can still connect this together like this. You can still put something on here in order to raise it up, and then so it won't bow, and you can just start hooking these together in different configurations, and they'll all be the same. They'll all be sturdy, and you'll have whatever base plate you want to use to create whatever you're trying to create. So that's our first method. Our second method is to simply replace all of these plates with bricks, okay? And then bricks will raise it up one more level. Now we can use bricks to, like, make hills and that kind of stuff. Say if we want to make a pool here, possibly, maybe it's water, and we want this to all be in ground. Can I get some bricks real quick, crew? So here we are with a bunch of bricks. I can put these on the bottom. Just paying attention to the same way I've got it. They've configured like this. And I'm not doing this too well because I'm just trying to do it quickly. But yeah, we'll put one right here for stability and support. But yeah, there we go. Now if we want to, we can add in some other types of details, maybe some slopes. If I want, I can add slopes right here to connect this and make it like it's a hill going down. So using bricks instead of 2 stud wide plates will help you to add more hills, more valleys, just more detail to your model. It'll also make your model easier to move because there'll be less surface area near the ground, so you'll be able to pick this up and move it forward pretty easy without having to worry about clutching the whole entire plate and moving it about. Okay, so that's our second way to do this. So the first way, just use 2 stud wide plates in order to make whatever configuration you want. Second way is to use bricks to raise it up if you want to add more detail or add slopes or anything else. And the last way is a way I saw recently from a Jay Steffer video. And it was really cool because he used road plates and intersections and stuff like that to make a base plate. But that simply starts with putting a 2x2 brick on each corner of your plate. And for him, this was a modular way to do it. That you could connect different base plates to each other. So we start off with this. Then we're going to be using 2 stud wide bricks to go all the way down and across. I mean, he had this lined up all together. I'm just going to put 2 stud gaps in between here. So we don't have to spend so much time. And then when he came to this area, he actually built the plate a little bit different. But this is essentially the basic idea. Using 2 stud wide bricks on the bottom. To build up a platform for these pieces to rest on. And you can sort of see how this is getting filled out. I need a few more pieces. We're going to go ahead and use these. And I'm not exactly doing this too detailed. That's on purpose because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. If you want to make it perfect, I definitely think that's commendable, but right now we're not trying to do it exactly perfect. I've got to salvage some more pieces from this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then so we have these two. I can just put a few bricks on the side. Put this up here. And then we've got another base plate. It needs a little bit more stability. But I essentially just turned a road plate into a large, nice, sturdy platform to start building on. And I can also connect more of these together if I use like pins or something else like that. I'm going to move this out the way a little bit. I can put more of these together if I want to, make a wider area. And again, credit goes to Jay Steffer for this technique. I think it's called the MILS, but this is kind of like a really rushed, more lazy version of that. But yeah, there is your platform to build off of. So we saw 3 different ways to do this. First is to use 2 stud wide plates, as few as possible, to join different plates together. The second is to, instead of using 2 stud wide plates, use 2 stud wide bricks to bring all those plates together so you can have a more raised area. And the third is to use a base plate. Take some plates, take some bricks, build on top of it in order to make a sort of a unified, sturdy, nice and sturdy base plate. Okay? So next, let's go over trees. Making trees look like trees. Alrighty? So whenever we're trying to build trees, and I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this so I have a platform to build on. Use a few bricks. And whenever we think about trees, we always start to build kind of like this, right? We take 2 of the same piece, and then we start putting some bricks on top. Maybe we use one of these. So I'm going to take these off of here. I have another tree already built. But yeah, this is how they turn out. And they don't exactly really look like trees because trees are not symmetrical. They're different on every single side you look at. And that's just a fact of life. So we cannot build nature symmetrical. That's why whenever I start building trees, I'll grab a bunch of different pieces, different slopes, bricks, all kinds of different things, and I'll just randomly place them. I'm not even thinking about where I'm going to put these at. I'm just randomly placing everything where I just feel like it'll go best at. We'll put this right here. Let's go ahead and just put this right. I'll put that right there. I'll put a brick right here. We will, let's put that right there. And let's keep on going up this way. I wish I had a wider variety of slopes, though. This might have been a little bit better had we done that. And then I'm going to put this right here. Put this right here. Put that right there. And then we'll just finish it all off with a... I wish I had another one right here, but there we go. All right. So we just randomly put a whole bunch of bricks on here. And I don't like how that looks right there. Let's go ahead and put this. We're going to refine it a little bit. Well, this crew didn't give me enough pieces. What? It's all their fault.
Hey, no, it's not our fault. It's your fault. You didn't tell us how many of the exact pieces you need.
Don't listen to them, people. That's the crew back there trying to escape responsibility for their
It's not my
for
fault,
what they have to do.
There
we go. So now we've got our tree, and we're just going to add some branches onto it, just like this. I mean, this is the easiest way to add branches on. Just put them wherever you want to.
Add some vines.
And this is also the crew's fault for not providing me a mixture of stuff.
What? Well,
I'm going to blame the crew from now on for everything.
Hey, it's not our
Give
fault.
them a job
It's your
and then
fault.
make them responsible for not going through with it all the way.
It's your fault because you didn't give us.
Hey, crew. We're not allowed to talk like that. We're not allowed to place the blame on the YouTuber. It always has to be somebody else.
You just give educational videos. Not all you. Most YouTubers
so there we go. We've got a tree. All I did was simply just randomly place everything. And it looks, I would say that's an okay tree. I mean, I don't know if that's like perfect or not because I don't
add more vines.
I don't judge myself as whether or not I'm doing this perfect, but I like it.
Add more
I think
vines.
it's pretty cool. And basically just to clarify, the secret to making nature look realistic is to be random with it. Nature is not symmetrical in real life. And that's what we're trying to avoid, is the trap of trying to make things cute, symmetrical, whatever it is. If you want to make a little bonsai bush, I mean, that's the point to be. No, actually, even bonsais aren't symmetrical. If you want to make a little thing that maybe looks like a little apple tree, you know how like it's shaped like a bulb, maybe that might be an okay use for a symmetrical tree. But honestly, if you do it randomly, it'll more than likely, if you just use brown slopes and green branches or whatever, it'll look good because you're capturing something about trees that is their main characteristic, and that's they're different from every single angle you look at them at. Okay? Alrighty, so that is the lesson for today. We went over how to build plates so that you don't annoy your instructors, and then we also showed you how to create a tree so it looks realistic. Okay, explore these ideas, find different techniques. Don't just take these techniques and say that's the Bible, that's how you do it. No, even these can be improved on and everything else. And we're constantly finding new ways to do things and create things that look fantastic. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope this video showed you something new. Maybe something you already knew, or maybe something that you'd want to revisit and see. But please like, share, subscribe, and support us on here because your views really do support us. Your liking supports us, and your sharing with others who may like this content supports us. So thank you very much, and remember, do your best, never give up, and keep on leveling up. We'll see you later.
Mason says hi too.
Don't listen to those kids.
Hey.
This stream is over.
No, it's not. It's okay. It's not over yet.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Don't listen to that kid.
No.
Yeah, he's
Don't
just saying
end the
stuff.
Stream. Don't end the stream.
Yep, we're going to end the stream. Don't listen to that kid right there.
Don't end the stream. Don't.
Yep.
Don't. Bye.
We're
Have
about
a good
to.
Time. Bye. Have a good time.
And there we go. We're out.